reef, stay very close in. By those yellow buoys, yeah. Head that way. Okay, go on, mate, you jump in.
This is a good a day as any.
I can't reach.
To start the rebuilding of life. The roads that lay open are many. When the old one's gone under the knife, and I can feel the sun on my skin.
Half an hour.
Yeah.
So I need your determination, motivation, and positive.
Let's do this. Up there we go. Fenced in.
Right, sorry nails.
I am Le Morne. I am Le Morne. Le Morne is me.
Experienced rock climbers, David. Yeah, not with nails like this anyway.
You have something to grab onto. Dig your nails in. I reckon there's actually a lift that takes you down. I haven't seen anyone come down yet.
Where's my monkey sound?
Do you remember the steps at the Gibraltar Rock?
This isn't really steps, love. This is just
Yeah, no, that was steps at least, wasn't it?
actual walk.
Hacha, hacha. This is not a calm morning's walk.
Experienced rock climbing. Alert. Oh, that's always a good sign.
Go on, Meg.
I'm not happy about this. Just call me Lara Croft.
Tomb Raider.
Congratulations, everybody.
Well, we're not. We haven't made it down yet. I'm not. I haven't forgotten. Trust me. I think I might stay up. I'm wondering where I can get this food from.
Now time to walk down.
This morning has so clear a light as any.
And the gate is just further and further
To
away.
see the horizon in the far. Excuses were 2 for a penny, but they've all gone out the window of this car. And when I feel the wind on my face.
September. Hello, September. Hello, buddy. Hello, stay. Mine's not happy. Well, it's not happy, but yours is going slowly. So mine's not happy. Yeah, mine just jolted to a stop. Woo! It's cold. Hang on, September. Hang on, buddy. Hang on. It's not very stable in the water. Oh, bless you. Hey, come on, mate. Hey. Hey. This is not funny. I've got one unhappy horse who just wants to get back to land. Come on, September. Come on, buddy. Come on, September. You can do this, mate. Come on.
All that ever was is a rage. Today and not tomorrow, there's
I have marooned myself on the beach. David, still out there, but he's coming back now. He's being rescued.
Why did you leave me?
You capsized like another 5 times. All these people are crashing now. This wind, it's gonna like blow me away.
Today and not tomorrow. There's no time to borrow today. Well, something's gotta give today. It's a good day today and not tomorrow. There's no time to borrow today. Well, something's gotta give today. It's a good day today. It's a good day today. It's a good day to
Welcome back, guys, and we hope you enjoyed both parts of that little montage of Mauritius. It's the most beautiful island. It was just
So beautiful.
We basically just want to run through with you guys how we did our trip to Mauritius. As you can remember from our previous videos, we were in South Africa. We actually did do a stopover from the Kruger to Johannesburg for one night because the flights didn't work out. I think we got into Johannesburg at like 6 o'clock in the evening and the flight's actually 11 o'clock in the morning of the day and there's only one per day. So we had one night stay in Johannesburg and that's plenty.
We're never someone to diss countries, like we did not experience Johannesburg. We got there at the airport and the minute we stepped out, I've never really not felt safe anywhere, but I did not feel safe. The minute we stepped out the airport, we were like surrounded by 6 or 7 different cab drivers going, this cab, that cab, and we were like, whoa, what's going on? And then they start taking your bags and they put all the bags in the car, and I said to David, I'm getting in the car. I'm not letting someone put my bags in their car without me being in the car with my bag.
As we said, we don't want to diss anywhere, but purely based on our experience, it just did not feel very safe. We have heard that the inner city is quite pretty and green and quite a cultural place.
From our experience, we're pretty scared of it and I don't think we'll be rushing back, but I'm sure there is beauty within, you know?
Moving Johannesburg aside, we then woke up the next day and had to get a crack of dawn flight from Johannesburg to Mauritius.
Now, this flight was pretty exciting because for some reason we managed to get business class tickets and we've never flown business class before, so we were so excited about just getting on this plane. When we book with a travel agent, always check ourselves the prices and see if we can get it any different. And for these flights from South Africa to Mauritius, we did manage to find them slightly cheaper. Then we got the tickets through, and on the ticket it said like seat 2B. There's no way in hell I'm sitting at the front of the plane. That's like death zone. We looked at the tickets and it said 1B or something, business, and we were like, okay. We said nothing, we did not book business tickets at all, and we just got on the plane. We weren't upgraded, I don't know what happened, but the gods were shining down on us that day, and it was a pretty cool experience, that's for sure.
When you walk through a long haul flight and you see people in business class, we always think, what's really worth it? Why would you pay that
much extra
astronomical amount more of money to sit there? And actually, it's definitely worth it. The service was awesome, given drink, food.
You got china crockery and silver cutlery, and we were served champagne on arrival. And yeah, we even tested out the seats before we'd even taken off. We made ourselves right at home.
So we got to Mauritius and we went straight to our hotel, which was the Lux Le Morne. Now, if you guys have seen our honeymoon video that we made, you may have noticed similarities between the hotel because they are the same brand. And now every time we go somewhere that's like a resorty place, we always try to see if there's a Lux, purely because it's like Four Seasons standards for half the price. It's always so pretty. They're fairly new hotels, so it's really well upkept, and they've just got so much to offer, which we're going to run down with you guys now.
So we just stayed in one of their standard rooms, and it was still a really gorgeous room, really comfortable bed, beautiful bathroom and just such good amenities, like really nice, fresh, modern, clean.
Now, the reason it's called Le Morne is because it's situated on the western side of the island, the southwestern side. If you look at a map of Mauritius, there's like this little nodule that sticks out on the western side of the coast because there's this massive mountain called Le Morne, which is like, it's like God's thumb, it's huge, it just sits there. It's like got its own ecosystem.
Well, that's partly why we actually chose that resort, because of the way the mountain, rock, whatever it's called, is situated. Acts as kind of a wind and weather block, so where the resort is, it's really protected. So that means kind of regardless of what time of year you go, you do get pretty much good weather all year round. So the Lux resorts have really great facilities. There's 2 huge swimming pools at Lux Le Morne, and they're quite private as well. They weren't really that busy. 90% of the time we're in the pool by ourselves.
There is so much water sports when you go to Lux resorts. They had wakeboarding, paddleboarding, kayaking, sailing, which yeah, let's not talk about that too much, that's quite embarrassing. We're meant to be sailors. We are sailors, that's what we did for a career. There's Meg and I on the beach, seeing everybody out in these little sailing boats. He's going, yeah, we can do that. We
kept watching these boats and they were capsizing, and we were like, what is wrong with these people? Like,
rookies.
Really good, strong wind. It was so cocky. The guy was like, do you know how to sail? We were like, yeah, we're pros. We were getting really good speed and we were like, yeah, look at all these people. We're going really fast. We came to our first tack, and I noticed that we haven't put the dagger board down. The dagger board is the center part that comes down from the boat, which is basically the balance point. So if you don't have that down, you're gonna crash.
Yeah, we went over, what, about 6 or 7 times? 6, 7, 8 times?
We were being cocky, we were being
windy.
so cocky.
It was windy.
You guys don't know this, but David and I actually work in the service industry. So when it comes to service, we are the biggest critiques. That's why we also love this hotel brand. They're so kind, so warm, so welcoming. We actually end up making kind of friends with the staff. We wanted to do like a really romantic meal on the beach, and this was an extra cost, I think, wasn't it? However, we got really friendly with the guys in the restaurant, and the guys said, look guys, don't worry about paying extra for it. There's 2 seats over there. It was our last night, and there's 3 restaurants on the island, wasn't there, I think? And this was our favorite one. It was called The Beach. It was so relaxing. You could like hear the sea rolling. Honestly, like it was heaven. And he said, guys, don't worry, tomorrow night I'm gonna set you up like your own private thing, but just come to this restaurant. And we were like, are you sure? He's like, yeah, I really want to give you a special evening. We got there and he like ushered us over to this like private table. Everyone was looking at us. We were like, oh god. And he sat there, had this huge fire pit like roaring.
He was like chopping leaves down from the trees and throwing
like to
them
make
onto the
this
fire.
thing so
It was
special
amazing.
for us, and we paid nothing extra for this. This was just how good their service is. They literally went above and beyond, more than we could ever have asked for.
Okay guys, so we're going to give you a quick rundown of what we think are the best 3 things to do whilst you're in Mauritius.
Number 1 was, as you probably can see on the internet, is horse riding in the water, bareback in Mauritius. It's a huge number 1 thing, must do, and of course we had to try it. I've actually been taking some riding lessons during the whole lockdown, but we had 0 experience when we were doing this back in 2018, because we were wearing flip-flops. That is how amateur we really were. Got on the horses, they just kind of knew what they were doing because we had no clue what we were doing. Had the most beautiful walk, just a nice walk along the beach, and then they get you off these horses and they take the saddles off, and then you go for a bareback ride in the water, which was pretty special to say the least.
Yeah, special for you, but you didn't have a horse which was completely deranged. my horse, as I'll show you now, was mental. It like freaked out going in the water and was like, no, I'm bolting it and going off on my own complete track here. I'm going over there, and went deeper and deeper, trying to shake me off it.
It's all in the rider, it's all in the rider, you're just a bad rider.
Yeah, probably is, probably quite true.
Anyway, that is 100% top of the list, must-do thing to do in Mauritius.
Number 2, you have to try and go and see the tortoise reserves. They are hugely known for sort of preserving, looking after tortoises. It's so cool to go in there, see the tortoises, and they're like, they must be a couple like, 50, 60, 70, 100 years old. Huge tortoises, and you go with these like massive leaves, and you're like feeding them these sticks of like just vegetables really, and then this guy comes around in this like golf cart, and he like tipped all these carrots out into the back, and they like ran to these carrots, and just a horde of carrots like
You could literally touch them, feed them, only the big ones, and then we did do something really special with the baby ones.
We then went and saw their reproduction centre, and we were looking after the baby ones, feeding them, and then they did bring out brand new baby tortoises, which are
No, they weren't babies,
smaller.
they were a couple of years old,
yeah,
but they're still tiny.
A few months, I think.
Okay, so number 3 on the list of the top 3 things to do is climb the Morne. So the reason this is number 3 is because this is not for everybody. It was quite an intense hike. So we got up at crack of dawn, we got the little packed lunch that they gave to us at the hotel, and we set off to the mountain. I think there was 2 parts of the walk. You could walk up to the middle, and then from the middle up, it's meant to be experienced people only, but they didn't really make that clear when we did book it. So we walked up to the main bit, and it wasn't really that strenuous, the first part of the trek. It was just kind of a medium incline, a bit rough. It was quite a rocky terrain.
Yeah, very uneven.
So you get to the centre point, and some people from the group have only chosen to do part 1 of the hike, and they then head back down. We had our guide with us, and we carried on. So up we went, and there are signs everywhere kind of saying experienced climbers only, and we're thinking, why are they saying that? It did worry us a little bit, but we were by far the youngest people in our group, and we were like, look, we can do this, it's fine. They were not joking when they said experienced climbers only. It literally was like rock climbing. And I'm not a rock climber, I've never really done any rock climbing, but it was literally hands, feet, digging in little bits.
There was a point where we got about halfway up, and we came across another group where there was an injured man, and our guide then stayed with this guy who was injured, as he should do, and we were left with this guy who spoke no English, and we started climbing up with him, and he'd just be like, blah, blah.
So we were then all kind of laughing and joking together as a group, but I was actually getting quite, I wouldn't say worried, maybe slightly anxious about what lay ahead.
But I know it sounds like we're over dramatising it, but there literally were points where you'd be taking your full weight as you try and climb up through these tiny little narrow gaps, and you think if you put your foot in the wrong places, you're slipping and you're sliding down, and it's like jagged rock, it's gonna hurt. We got about 10 metres from the top, and people stopped, people gave up.
I don't think only about 4 of us from our group made it to the actual top. So this is why we just want to be completely open and honest with you. It's 100% a must do, but only do it if you're feeling fit enough, because it must have been so horrible for those people to make it that far, but not quite have the energy to go all the way to the top.
Now, we did make it to the top, and my God, it was worth it.
So around Le Morne, there's actually an underwater waterfall, which we didn't really understand until you can get up on top of the Morne and you see what they're talking about. There is this magical underwater waterfall. Something that we didn't really consider was that as the sun rises, the rocks get hotter and hotter. So on the way down, the rocks that we were touching with our hands on the way up were almost unbearable to touch. So if you're going to climb Le Morne, make sure you do it as early in the morning as possible so that you don't have that problem.
The walk down is quite hard on your legs, I'm not gonna lie. Once you've done that massive climb, you then realise just how steep that first half of the walk up was, because you're climbing down, falling every step. I think
in fact, if I remember rightly, my knees were in so much pain, I decided I was gonna run. I actually ran back. When we got home, let's just say we definitely laid on the beach for the rest of the day with an ice cream and cocktail in hand.
So guys, that brings us to the end of our South Africa and Mauritius series. Really hope you've enjoyed it as much as we have making it. It's really nice to reminisce and go through all the old videos that we've got.
We've got some really exciting videos coming your way. As we mentioned at the start of the video, we are off for our first trip of 2021, and we cannot wait to film and share the footage with you. So stay tuned for that video, as it will be coming very, very soon.
Remember guys, smash that like button, comment down below anything that you guys want to know or hear from us or see us do. Subscribe if you can, it really helps us out. We're a new and upcoming channel, and we really enjoy sharing our travel experiences with you guys, and I hope you enjoy it as well. Until next time guys.
See you in the Algarve. This is what we do. Just jinxed it so bad.
Just because of what's been going on in the world recently, we figured we might actually just say, hey, see you next time guys, and no Algarve, in case we don't actually go to the Algarve.
Pray for us, pray for us.
Today